Hello everyone, welcome back to GS Park and welcome to the episode, a new episode on revision, which is time of supply. So I hope this revisional videos or episodes are helping you out. What you have to do is just plug in your earphone and listen to the classes, not the class, revision. Whenever you are free, no, you just have to listen to this and believe me, every day if you listen to this, no, definitely it will help you out for your examination. Before going to bed for next 15 to 20 minutes, you just have to listen to this video, put it in 1.5 or 2x, definitely this will help you out. Now we are revising the time of supply, chapter time of supply. So why time of supply, sir? With very simple one. So we will divide the taxable event into many parts. So not the taxable event, but actually we will order. Example, you ordered for the goods on one day and I dispatched the goods on another day. You paid me after 2 months. Then when I have to pay the GST to the government? So this is, I will collect for sure, sir, but I have to pay it to the government. No, when I have to pay it to the government, that is given in time of supply provision, section number 12 and section number 13. So what is there in section number 12 and section number 13? It basically says that all these the definition part I am just skipping. Section number 12 and section number 13, it basically says that time of supply in case of goods, section number 12, time of supply in case of service, section number 13. So section number 12 subsection 1 is very bakwas, which says that time of supply in case of goods is as per the provisions of section number 12. So to find out the time of supply for section for goods, you have to follow section number 12. Okay, section number 12 subsection 2, which says that the time of supply in case of goods shall be earlier of the following. It is the date of issue of invoice or the last date to issue the invoice as per section number 31. Whichever is earlier, compare that with date of payment, whichever is earlier. Actually, there were two provisions, section number 12A and section number 12B, but later, as per notification number 66, this section number 12B has been removed. Section number 12B has been removed and notification number 66 says that there is only one clause now. What is the time of supply in case of goods under forward charge mechanism? It is the time of invoice or last date to issue the invoice as per section number 31. Can you recall what is last date to issue the invoice as per section number 31? If section number 31 subsection 1 says that if the movement is involved, then the removal of the goods. If the movement is not involved, then the making it available. As per section number 31 subsection 4, continuous supply of goods. In case statement is there, then on or before the statement, otherwise payment, on or before the payment. Section number 31 subsection 4. Section number 31 subsection 7, sale on approval basis. It is approval date or the or 6 months, whichever is earlier, that date will be the last date to issue the invoice. That we have discussed in section number 31 invoice chapter. Okay, sir. Again, section number 12 subsection 2, as per section number 12 subsection 2, it was two clauses, date of invoice or last date to the issue the invoice, whichever is earlier, compare that with date of payment. Whichever is earlier, that was the time of supply, but later notification number 66 dated 2017, CT dated 2017, they told that here onwards there is no GST on advance. On advance there is no GST. On advance there is no GST. So GST in case of goods, especially forward charge mechanism. This notification 66 notification is not applicable for reverse charge mechanism. Only for section number 12 subsection 2, notification number 66 says that there is no GST on advance, no GST on advance, no GST on advance. Then when will be the GST, sir? When we have to pay the GST? Date of invoice or last date to issue the invoice, whichever is earlier. That is section number 12 subsection 2. And in case of small advances, sir, actually it is not advance. People, it is actually not advance. So you had to pay me some amount, but you paid excess amount. What supplier can do? Supplier can take it, adjust in the next invoice. Without paying GST, without collecting GST, he can adjust that in the next invoice. That is section number 12 subsection 2. Later, section number 12 subsection 3 says that in case of section number 12 subsection 3, reverse charge mechanism, date of receipt of the goods, date of making the payment. Here RCM means I have received the goods, I have to make the payment to the supplier. Date of making the payment, that is, what is the meaning of date of making the payment here? The date entered in the books of accounts or date of debit in the bank account, whichever is earlier, and that you have to compare with 31st day from the date of invoice or any other document in lieu thereof which is given by the supplier, whichever is earlier. Again, date of receipt of the goods. We will divide this second date of payment into 2 points. Date of receipt of the goods, date of entry in the books of accounts, date of debit in the bank account, or date of 31st day from the date of issue of invoice, whichever is earlier. All these 4, whichever is earlier, that date will be the time of supply in case of reverse charge mechanism. But provided, one more point here, provided if that was not possible, where it is not possible to determine as per A, B, C, here this A, B, C, then date of entry in the books of accounts of the recipient. Who is recipient? Me, myself. See, if I have purchased the goods, then the date of receipt of the goods by me, or date of payment done by me, or date of debit in the bank account by me, or 31st day from the date of invoice which I have received, whichever is earlier. If it is not possible to find out as per these 3, then date on which I have entered that goods in my books of accounts, no, that date. If it is not possible as per A, B, C, then date on which I enter in my books of accounts, no, that date will be the time of supply. Very good, sir. Section number 12 subsection 3 is crystal clear, sir. Next one, section number 12 subsection 4 is talking about the vouchers. In case of vouchers, sir, the time of supply in case of voucher is date of issue of voucher if supply is identifiable at the prior. If the at the point, say if the goods is identifiable, and then the time of supply is the date of issue of the voucher. If the goods is not identifiable, then the date of redemption, whichever date of redemption, not whichever is earlier. Section number 12 subsection 4, in case of voucher, if you can determine what is the goods, then the date of issue of voucher. If you cannot determine, then the date of issue of the date of redemption. Section number 12 subsection 5, sir, it is not possible, for some reason it is not possible to find out the date of, if there is any circumstances which is not possible to find out the time of supply as per 12.2, 12.3, 12.4, then 12.5 says that if you are liable for filing the return, then the date of return. If you are not liable for filing the return, then date of payment of the tax. Section number 12 subsection 5. Okay, sir. Section number 12 subsection 6, in case of enhancement. What is enhancement? Interest, penalty and late fee. In case of interest, penalty and late fee, to the extent of interest that you receive or penalty that you receive or late fee that you receive, the time of supply is when you receive it. The date of receipt is the time of supply. This is given in section number 12 subsection 6. So we are done with section number 12 subsection 6, and if you see here, some of the important points I just want to highlight here. One is, people, notification number 66, very important one, don't miss this. And relief, this is also very important one, relief of non-paying GST, that is on advance, at the rate of the receipt of advance in case of supply of goods. This notification is not applicable to supply of service. If you read the notification clearly, specified that the person should pay GST on outward supply of goods. People just highlight the word goods, only for goods, not for service. Okay, sir, I understood, sir. Next, continued. Time limit for section 31. Time limit that we have already discussed, section number 31 subsection 1 के हिसाब से, 31(4) के हिसाब से, उसके बाद sir 31(7) के हिसाब से. And there is one beautiful example which is given here for advance purpose. So you always remember that in case of advance, no, there is no GST. For goods, there is no GST. See, there is no importance of payment at all. There is no importance of payment. Why you are telling this, sir? Listen, date of issue of invoice or date of last date to issue the invoice, whichever is earlier. This is the date of issue of invoice or last date to issue the invoice, whichever is earlier, that date. If the payment is before this date, sir, then section number 66 says that, arey hat jao, there is no GST on you. Okay, sir. If payment is after that, then section number 12 subsection 2 says that, arey hat jao. Why? Because whichever is earlier. That's why now the date of payment is literally crying. If I before, then 66 says that hat jao. If I am after, then section number 12 subsection 2 says that hat jao. That means what to do, sir? Nothing but tata, bye bye, goodbye, gaya. There is no GST on payment of advance. Sir, then there is no GST on advance? No. There is GST on advance, but it is at the time of invoice. It will be clubbed with the time of invoice. Example, 20,000 is paid earlier as the advance and 30,000 is paid at the proper date, at the date of invoice or after the date of invoice. That means now the GST is 20,000 paid, GST is not at that time, but 20,000 paid GST will be there on the date of invoice or last date to issue the invoice. So that means, sir, out of 50,000, 20,000 pay no GST. Array, GST is there, but not at that time. GST will be at the time of invoice or last date to issue the invoice. That is beautifully explained in this example. Please go through that, and this is the summary. So this we have discussed already. There are some quiz. Okay, so this is about section number 12, and what extra important point? Nothing. Now we will go for section number 13, subsection 1. Again, Faltugiri sir, time of supply. The liability to pay the tax on services will arise at the time of supply as determined in terms of provisions of this section. Which section? Section number 13. Now section number 13, subsection 2 says that the time of supply of services shall be earliest of the following, sir. If the date of issue of the invoice, so the date of issue of the invoice is as per section number 31. It is given that if the invoice has been issued at the proper date, at the date which is given in section number 31, then date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier. Sir, if the invoice is not issued on time, then date of provision of service or date of payment, whichever is earlier. In case, sir, the date on which the recipient, otherwise, if it is not possible as per A and B, then the date on which recipient shows in his books of accounts. The recipient shows the receipt of services in his books of account. This is there in section number 13, subsection 2, forward charge mechanism. Okay, and small advance ka case, no, you can adjust it now or you can adjust it. Actually, it is not advance. People, it is not advance. It is excess payment. What can be done now, or if you can tax it now, or you can put it for next time. You can take it to the next time. Explanation says that the supply shall be deemed to have been made to the extent of the it is covered by the invoice. So example, this is there, this explanation is there even in goods also. What it is saying, sir? See, I paid. So it is like I ordered for example, in case of goods, I ordered for 100 kg of rice, but only 80 kg is written in invoice. Then the supply is 100 kg or 80 kg? 80 kg. Supply is 100 kg or 80 kg? 80 kgs. That means whatever covered in the invoice, no, or for which the payment is done, so that will be considered as supply. See, I ordered for 100 kg, but I paid for 80 kg. I paid for 80 kg. Now 100 kg or 80 kg, sir? 80 kg. One more. Okay, one more example. In case of service, I ordered the services for 1 full year. I ordered the service of AC repair for 1 full year, but I paid for 7 months. I ordered for 1 full year, but I paid for 7 months. I paid for 7 months. I paid, in case of service, I am talking about service, I paid for 7 months, but invoice is given for 6 months, sir. Invoice is given for 6 months. What to do, sir? Whether I have to give, see, I paid for 7 months, example 7 lakhs. I paid for 7 months 7 lakhs, but invoice is given for 6 months, that is 6 lakhs, but I ordered for the service for whole 12 months, that is 12 lakhs. Now the GST is on 12 lakhs, 6 lakhs or 7 lakhs. GST will be on 7 lakhs. Why? Sir, 1 lakh is advance, no sir. Invoice is for 6 lakhs. 6 months got over. Invoice is given for 6 lakhs. Advance is 1 lakh. Actually 6 lakh पे होना चाहिए ना. Advance पे there is no GST. अरे, advance in case of goods there is no GST, but advance in case of service there is GST. Remember this, advance in case of service there is GST. What is the meaning of date of receipt of payment? Nothing but date of credit in the bank account or date of entry in books of account, whichever is earlier. Yes, sir. We know this. Section number 13, subsection 3, in case of reverse charge mechanism. In case of reverse charge mechanism, section number 12, subsection 2, you remember date of receipt of goods, date of payment. What is date of payment? Date of entry in the books of accounts or date of debit in the bank account. Debit in the bank account, whichever is, and 31st day. Whichever is earlier. That was section number 12, subsection 3. Now section number 13, subsection 3 mein date of receipt of goods was there. That point is missing. Delete it. Date of payment. What is date of payment? The date of entry in the books of accounts or date of debit in the bank account. Whichever is earlier, compare that with 61st day from the date of invoice, whichever is earlier. So this is given date of payment as entered in the books of accounts or receipt of or the date of the payment. Okay, date on which the payment is debited in bank account, whichever is earlier, or the day immediately following the 60 days from the date of issue of invoice, whichever is earlier. So this is section number 13 subsection 3. This is section number 13 subsection 3, and there are some explanations which are given here, which we already know. Next one, section number 13 subsection 4, voucher ka case, ditto section number 12 subsection 4. If the service is ascertainable, then the date of service, the date of issue of the voucher. If the service is not ascertainable, then date of redemption. 16, section number 13 subsection 5, in residual cases, if you have to file, if it is not possible to determine the date of time of supply in case of service as per section number 13.2, 13.3, 13.4, then the best one is if you are liable for filing the return, then the date of return. If you are not liable for the return, then the date of payment. And lastly, in case of interest, penalty and late fee, that is enhancement, whenever you receive the amount, no, to the extent of interest, late fee and penalty, whenever you receive it, that means interest, penalty and late fee, whenever you receive it, that date will be the time of supply. So this is about section number 12 and section number 13. And there are some, what is the last date to issue the invoice? That is given in 31 subsection 2. In case of in any other service provider, it is 30 days. But it is insurance, business, non-banking financial institutions, NBFC or any other financial institution, including the insurance company, in that case it is 45 days. Remember this, it is 45 days. Okay, sir. Yeah. See. Okay, some specified categories. Next one, section number 31 subsection 5, continuous supply of service. If due date is ascertainable, then on or before due date. If due date is not ascertainable, on or before payment. If it is linked to the event, then before the completion of the event. Next one, section number 31 subsection 6, before the cessation of the service. Whatever the service is issued, no, for that you have to issue the invoice. Okay. What is it? 30 days and 45 days. That we have discussed already. Yes, sir. And the analysis part they have analyzed. So this, you just go through all these points. I believe that this question, no, that is wrong question. This quiz question number 4, no, that is wrong question, because they have given the forward charge mechanism. I believe this has to be reverse charge mechanism. Reverse charge mechanism. Otherwise, see, in case of forward charge mechanism, Parminder Constructions Limited, no, issues the invoice for the service. How? Because see, Dhriti is the supplier. Parminder Constructions, no, they are issuing the invoice for the service. Dhriti is the supplier of service. Supplier, she provides the service, no. Supplier, Dhriti, provides the service. If they are giving the service, how Parminder Construction is issuing the invoice? If it was reverse charge, then yes, Parminder has to issue the invoice, because Dhriti will not give the invoice. So I have some doubts in this. If you have some answers, please do put it in the comment box. So the time of supply is given, and finally let's recapitulate. So that is there here, and there are some questions here and the quiz also. Please do try it. So this is about section number 12 and section number 13. Finally, section number 12 subsection 1, that is one last time, revision of revision. Section number 12 subsection 1, it says that time of supply is as per the provision. Time of supply in case of goods is as per the provision. Section number 12 subsection 2, forward charge mechanism. In case of forward charge mechanism, date of issue of invoice or last date to issue the invoice, whichever is earlier, that will be the time of supply. In case of big advance, that is taken out. That's why only this one. Section number 12 subsection 3, in case of reverse charge mechanism, date of issue of the date of receipt of the goods, date of payment, or 31st date from the date of issue of the invoice, whichever is earlier. Section number 12 subsection 4 is in case of voucher. In case of voucher, if the goods is ascertainable, then the date of the voucher, the date of issue of the voucher. If the goods is not ascertainable, then date of redemption. Section number 12 subsection 5, in case of residual cases. In residual cases, that means if it is not possible to determine the time of supply of the goods as per section number 12.2, 12.3, 12.4, then it says that if you are required to file the return, then the date of return. If you are not required to file the return, then the date of payment. Section number 12 subsection 6 says that in case of interest, penalty, late fee, that means enhancement, then whenever you receive that amount, no, that date will be the time of supply. Section number 13, in case of time of supply in case of services. Section number 13 subsection 1 says that time of supply in case of services, you have to follow section number 13. Section number 13 subsection 2 says that in case of forward charge mechanism, you have to see that if the invoice is issued on time, then the date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier. If the invoice is not issued on time, then date of services, provision of services, or date of payment, whichever is earlier. And in any other cases, date of is the date of entry in the books of accounts of the recipient. That will be the date, time of supply. Section number 13 subsection 3, it is about reverse charge mechanism. Then date of payment, that is date of entry in the books of account or date of debit in the bank account, whichever is earlier. Compare that with the date of the 61st date from the date of issue of the invoice from the supplier. Section number 13 subsection 3. Section number 13 subsection 4, it is date in case of voucher, same as section number 12 subsection 4. If the service is ascertainable, then the date of issue of the voucher. If the service is not ascertainable, then the date of redemption. Section number 13 subsection 5, residual cases may, if it is not possible to find out the time of supply of services in case of section number 13.2, 13.3, 13.4, then 13.5 says that if you are liable for filing the return, then the date of return, or if you are not liable for return in any other cases, then it is date of payment. Section number 13 subsection 6 says that in case of interest, penalty, and late fee, in case of interest, penalty, and late fee, whenever you receive that, no, that date will be the time of supply. Hence, so we are done with time of supply ka revision. Thank you so much for your patient listening. People, I love you. I love you. I miss you. Thank you so much. Hail GST.